Hi, it's Rich Stoddard again. We're discussing the PowerShell Devops conference out here in Redmond, Washington. It was a really good show, and I'm doing some video documentation of what went on. The next speaker that came up was Joey Aiello, and he talked about the goals of PowerShell Core. This is going to be my takeaway and what I understood, and if it's inaccurate, well, that's my fault and not intentional. So your mileage may vary. So the goals of PowerShell Core is ubiquity. Put PowerShell everywhere. Have it multi-platform. They've pushed PowerShell Core, which is PowerShell 6.0 up on Unix and multiple platforms, and they have compiled versions for very small computers, and they're adding more as we speak, as well, in my experience. So it could be very interesting. There's also looking for a cloud readiness. Writing was a little better here. CLOU cloud readiness. Changes and transformations and stuff to make it suitable for the cloud. There's a lot of stuff going on with Azure, and I'm sure the other vendors, AWS was represented at the conference, are adopting the language from the Microsoft realm, and it is spreading out into the Linux realm now. There's been a tremendous amount of downloads of it. They showed us charts at the conference of what they call the hockey stick chart. So there's a lot of downloads for the Unix world. So giving the numbers, it looks like they're getting real popular. They have ubiquitousness. They talked about the OS with ZMac OS and Linux and ARM32/64, Raspbian Linux. And also, we're looking at VS Code with editor services on Azure. They demonstrated that later in the conference. I thought that was impressive. The cloud readiness adopted by cloud vendors. The higher the version, the better it's getting to be lightweight, fast, and secure. It's now open source, meaning you can get into it and see what's going on and pose improvements, which is great. They're saying more improvements to the web and web REST, RESTful state function, REST, and JSON support are improving. PowerShell for Auto REST by Adam Murray, I guess is a book they were recommended. They're also looking at CI/CD pipelines, continuous integration, continuous development. If I'm wrong, give me a note. Anything constructive is appreciated. Anything negative, we'll just ban you or delete. We don't care about. The built for both the internet and hosted scenarios. And PowerShell Gallery has 900 million downloads, almost 100 million a month. That's impressive. We also said something about speculation control module, which is something I have to research myself because that was what? So keep your eye out on that. The community in GitHub is growing and going well. I've been hearing a lot about that, about the GitHub. I still don't have, I don't really get all of GitHub, but I'm working on it, and that's a priority for me. It's a source for open source and sharing repositories that are shareable from the internet, which sounds like a really good idea. They have opportunities to contribute. Docs.microsoft.com, Microsoft site I need to check out. Maybe you ought to too. The history and the future of PowerShell Core, Linux capability. Core has replaced Windows PowerShell. I think capabilities are somewhat limited. And when we're coming to a new level in PowerShell, it's essentially PowerShell 6.3, but it's built on .NET Core and 3.0, which is still pre-production release. They're calling the new Windows PowerShell. I believe it's just PowerShell 7.0. It has a great future. It is going to be mainstream. It will replace 5.1 in the Windows world, and will be eventually, at least the plans have it, that it will become part of the Windows Server deployment in the future. That's cool. The support life cycle into .NET 6.3 and Spirit. Let's see, VS Code is getting a lot of support. Let's see, Aaron Chapman talked later about Azure Compute. Windows Server is going to be taking this Power Server Core. Microsoft's long-term mission is to empower everyone to be able to do more. At least on the planet, I think they mentioned. Digital transformation is a reality now. And we're talking about artificial intelligence ecosystem. Consistent learning, Visual Studio Core developing rapidly. They're making improvements. Cloud Shell has been implemented. That's real interesting. Modules integrating Azure, Active Directory, and Exchange are now available. My takeaway from the conference is that Azure is developing rapidly new stuff and new features. There's some mention about Azure Functions, which I attended several talks on, and it looks like an impressive thing. They're called serverless computing. Things are getting away from the old school. You have a server and an operating system and hardware and all that, to computing resources and just software as a service. You get buying SQL now rather than buying a server that has SQL on it, and then you have to maintain and patch that. And we'll have a pause here so you get to watch me. I think there was a reference to how some of the migrations are being like an onion peeling exercise. So that's it for there. I was really impressed with the future. They talked about PowerShell 7 as being the next step. Developments on PowerShell 6.2 have wrapped up, and all the focus is on to the next level. They did choose the 7.0 because of the .NET Core 3.0 integration to show a big jump in capability. I'm looking forward to seeing it, and I already have the preview of .NET 3.0 Core on my computer, waiting for the preview of PowerShell 7 to come out there. It's open source, and they're really getting a lot of benefit out of the community feedback. I guess that's the people who are using PowerShell, who have a good understanding of what's going on and saying, hey, this is not working as anticipated. There's only so much that developers can see, and giving them many eyes. Any particular number may be copyrighted, so a large number with many digits after it, looking after a product, gives us the feedback to make it far more powerful. That's what I wanted to get across. Thank you for listening tonight. or morning, or wherever your time zone is you should choose to listen. So cheers. PowerShell conference is great. Hopefully I'll get some more to tell you more of the different things I attended. Have a very good day.